Welcome back to another episode of Pure Genuine Podcast, where we dive into authentic experiences like never before. In this episode, I'm going to talk about episode 10 because I didn't really tell you guys how similar me and Chrisean Rock are. I just was talking about we're so similar. Like we went through something, then we get and then we serve, not serve, but we surrender ourselves. But there's much more to that I did not even explain. And you guys are like confused and lost about the whole situation. Like, wait, what? Huh? So, you guys, me and Chrisean Rock are similar because all the things that I did and she did during the pandemic is similar. Similar. And I was like, wow, we are doing similar things. We're going through similar things. We're going upon similar things. Our reactions are the same or going upon these different things. But we are not as it wasn't like exactly the same. It's just very similar. So, you guys, I was like dealing with like meeting new friends, having friends around, and then I would like have my loved ones around, and then I would like, just all through pandemic, where it was like, oh, having fun, having them around, whatever, and then I feel like I was being used, being manipulated. People I thought that were my friends were not being my friends. They were being fake of to being my friends towards me, stealing, acting like they're friends, having friends stay with me, but there wasn't really my friends. They were just using me because like, oh, if I stay here and be and act cool and nice in front of your face, I can be able to do this and that and the third. And I'm just like, what? And I did not see that. Later on, like years and years later, so it's like when pandemic was dying down, that's when I started to realize it. I was like, whoa, I was getting used this whole time. Like, wow. Like, people only want help. Like, here's the thing. People will only come for me for something that they need and not even care about me as who I am as a human being. And they care less about that. They just know there's a home. Oh, we can do this. We can do that here. Oh, yeah, we're going to go over to Frenchie's place and do this and do that. Like it's a whatever place. Just make a mess. Do whatever, Have all these other people over. Um, I'm calling you my friend, but in the inside they're not my friend. And that's what Chrisean Rock was going through when she was having all these people around. She was doing Blueface Club, making friends, falling in love with Blueface, falling in love with the wrong people, being around certain people because she started getting some public figure in this, and she became a celebrity, and then entourage she started coming into her life who she thought that they were friends, but there wasn't. They were just backstabbing her. They were acting like they were being friends to her. They were manipulating her. They were stealing from her. That's the same thing that happened to me, but I wasn't. I'm not famous. I wasn't on a reality show. And then when our feelings come in, it's just so it's the same. Like be blind to our loved ones. We are blind to our loved ones, where it's like our loved ones telling us what to do right, helping us as much as they can, telling us this, telling us that. And I like blunt forward people because it lets me know, like, okay, I need to work on this. Instead of like going around the whole thing just to make it seem calm, but being real at the same time. No, just be straight, blunt, forward with me. And I seen that with her, with loved ones. I seen her on interviews. I seen her with like family members. I seen her with like certain friends that was actually being real legit friends to her. And, like telling Chrisean Rock, like, you should do this, go upon that, whatever, like, it's this, it's that. And she was just like, yeah, but no, she didn't know, like, how to explain it. And she felt like the loved ones that was there for her, maybe still is there for her still, was trying to tell her like what's wrong and what's right. And she just felt like they're just being an enemy to her. And that's how it was with me too. Like I felt like my loved ones was being enemies to me. And I just like, and they're trying to cope me, but like, and for Chrisean Rock, they're trying to cope her too, and did not understand anything, and then go out and start drinking, smoking, whatever, f this, f that, da da, blue, 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 blue. When I say blue, I'm saying Blueface, because she loved Blueface all the way. She got Blueface tatted all over her and everything. And she was like, blue, blue, blue. Oh, that's not third. And then, for me, I was like, you know, the ones I thought were my friends, I was like having their backs, but they were like being fake and funny of being my friend. I hate to call it friends nowadays. I like to call it my loved ones. But I don't know. It's like this, what to go with. Because I don't know. I just like feel some type of way with certain people, or just in just what I've been through in the walk of my life. So I'm just like this with it. But with me, I was around my loved ones and friends, and then I was just having love for everybody, like no this and that, try to have their backs or whatever, but getting played with Chrisean Rock, where she had love for Blueface, but Blueface was like, I don't really like you, but he was being conflicted with himself, like he likes her, but he doesn't. But then it came to a point where he's like, I really don't like you. And then he was just using her for the popularity and getting more money. And he was smart for that. That was smart, but it was evil at the same time. Because how could someone do that? Like, no. Like, I wouldn't do that towards nobody. Honestly, I would not do that at all. So, we were blind to this. And being around the wrong people in certain areas and times and circles wasn't even like seeing the picture of things and how people were treating one another, like me, and, like same thing with Chrisean Rock. Like all the friends that she thought that were her friends wasn't really her friends. Stealing money from her, stealing maybe clothes, and trying to get some popularity just by being around her because she has a name. Or even her like friends that she grew up with, or friends that she went to school with, whatever the case, started to be around her and only want to be around her for popularity. I feel like it's similarities in both ways. And then Chrisean Rock was living in Blueface's second house, and that's where the reality show was. And then everybody left, and Chrisean Rock was the only one that stayed. Then he went to season 2, and then went to season 3, and then there is no more Blueface Club. There is no more. I think it went to season 3, and there's no more. It's dead. It's never going to come back again. I don't believe it's ever going to come back again. I think it's done. I think that's a pandemic thing because everybody was at home, just that was it. There's a lot of stuff in pandemic that's only meant for the pandemic time. Like, I don't expect it to come back like now. Like, that's dead. It's forever gone. When the pandemic was here, those things was just only for the pandemic. So, yeah, a lot of stuff that happened in pandemic was only meant for that pandemic. Yes. Those 3 years, pandemic, keep it there. Keep it there. I don't want it to be in present time. Just keep it there. It's stuck there. Whatever. You know. But yeah, so that's why I feel like we are similar, you know. And then for me, when I started leading, when it was like time to take on responsibilities and stuff like that, I started to be like stubborn. I mean, a lot more stubborn, even though I don't never want to be stubborn ever. I want that to be gone. I don't want to be stubborn because let me tell you about stubborn. I get some people tell me stubborn is a good thing, but then I look at it, I see it from another side, like stubborn is not a good thing. And then I get some other people saying stubborn is good and bad at the same time. It's all on you on how you take it as on being stubborn. But I feel like being stubborn is terrible at all costs, at every angle, corners, all of that, full circle, in a full ball. It is unacceptable to be stubborn for me. Like, I don't want the stubbornness ever again in my body, my mind, body, and soul, and aura. I don't want that because being stubborn will make you lose friends. Well, basically, yeah, lose friends, lose loved ones, make you look evil, you look like not a good person, makes it where people don't want to come around you, or people, you might have loved ones still, but they'll love you from a far distance, far away. And I'm the type that likes love, like right there, up close. I like love. I like my loved ones. Oh, I like my loved ones to be close, you know, as well. And I noticed myself, I have people tell me, oh, you're stubborn, you're stubborn. And then I met a friend, a new friend. We are still friends, but we don't see each other as much as we used to. But I can definitely go see this person whenever. Okay, so this person I met in pandemic, um, she became my friend because we met at an event party, and we started talking whatever. We from the party the next day or the 2 weeks later. We no that same day we met. We went out to another event, and then later I went to go help her move from San Francisco to out here to Vegas, and I moved her stuff into a brand new her new home. It's not new built, but it's a beautiful home. And over time, we started hanging out. She said to me, "You're stubborn," and I was like, how? I was like, cause she's a teacher, and she been doing this. She's been doing this ever since she got out of college, a university college. Um, at that, and I was like, I'm stubborn. I was like, why are people telling me this? Why is people keep on telling me? I was like, tell me how. Tell me, like, tell me what it is to be stubborn. Like, tell me when you notice somebody being stubborn. And she told me, and I was like, wow. She was like, being selfish. You sit there and think if you want to say yes or no to somebody asking you something. You don't want somebody to do certain things that's like you like something that doesn't feel right to you, but it's not wrong. You feel like that. Um, it's the way you react to things. It's the way you go upon. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, okay. And it's what you say to other people. And I was like, okay. And I kid you not. Once I started, once she told me that, and I started watching myself through time since that day. But once I started watching myself on what I do and how I respond to people and make my yes and no's towards one another, I started to feel hurt about myself. Like, wow, why am I like that? Like, why? Now I was like, okay, let me step back and sit and talk to myself in the mirror. Like, literally, you guys, I directly looked at myself in the mirror and I told myself and I just spoke to myself and I was like, why am I like this? Why do I do these things? Why do I go upon these things? Why do I make these type of choices? Why do I say yes and no to these certain things when people ask me certain stuff? Now, don't get it wrong. A lot of the stuff people ask me when it's like a yes or a no answer, a lot of times it's like you trying to get over me, like you trying to manipulate me. So a lot of times I said no for the right things. But it's just like making the choice to say yes or no. And I'm just like, why my attitude gets like this, you know? Like, why do I be micromanaged? Why do I do that? Why do I do this? I was like, oh my gosh, like, what? And then what is it called? I, I, what is this word? Oh my gosh. I was like, oh, I'm too, what is it called? Too, anyways, so much rules about me, rules or what to do, this and that. Like, I'm too much of that. Like, why? And then, there's a word for that. Mind me, you guys, there's a word for it, but it's just not coming to me. But, you guys, I was like, what? And I had to sit there and think, like, okay, all right, I just gotta, like, relax with myself. And I was like, okay, starting to lead on things when it comes to being responsible and taking on responsibilities. I gotta watch my circle and who I'm hanging around with. I was like, okay, I gotta watch what I say. I gotta be more kind to myself so I can give back to others. Now, how do I treat others? I gotta treat back to myself on what I believe is kind so I can give it back to others out of all full circle. Not like at moments, I'm being kind. But no, how are you kind? What do you know what kind is? And you do that a lot to people. Give that back to yourself, Frenchie, so you give it back out to the universe. Because you're going to give it back out to the universe 2 times. 2 times more for the better. And then I was like, okay. So I calm myself down. And I have to be real with myself on all the mistakes I have done. And it wasn't good at all. But I have to be 100%. And then I was like, all right, self healing, self care. I have to let go of some people that thought I was cool with, but they were just using me. I started reading more books. I started to get into what I really love to do in life. And all through this, I had gotten a therapist, and my therapist was helping me out at the time when I had the therapist. I need to give her a call because I had an appointment and then my insurance got expired and I never went back to her. I want to give her a call and tell her that I apologize for not giving you heads up and things like that. It's been about almost a full month now since the last time we spoke. So I'm going to give her a call tomorrow and tell her I apologize and this and that. But I'm ready for this journey, this new chapter. So I got a therapist, and she helped me out. She made these circle things, like a circle and a circle and a circle. And she said, who's right here in this circle? Who's right here in this circle? Who's right here in this circle? In this circle? And then that helped me out. And then she helped me out with being present. Even my neighbor helped me out with this too, being present. Look around, look at your surroundings. Is this who you want to be around? This is what you want. This and that and the third, and all of that. So that's what I had to do to like not to be stubborn anymore and to better myself as a human being. And I'm still working on it. I'm doing my best. And when I made this change, I noticed like it's been different. Literally, it's been different. That shocked me too when I started to notice that I have a different approach with myself. You know, taking life, my journey in a different direction, in a new avenue, in these new avenues, a range of just seeing things and how to go upon things and how to show myself in these different rooms and just being a better me as a human being than I've ever been. And then I told myself I'm getting older and I need to make this happen now, right now. I don't want to get any older and making it right. I want to do it as best as possible, as young as I am. So, Chrisean Rock, she was being stubborn. Now let's go back to Chrisean Rock. She was being stubborn, you know, on like people trying to help her out with her situation, and she was seeing people being evil, like being an enemy to her. But no, realistically, you're being blind. Realistically, these people are trying to help you out. These loved ones. They see what you're going through and they're trying to help you out. And that was the same thing for me too, and didn't know where to go with the situation, and started, been drinking and smoking. And then for me, I wasn't smoking, but I was drinking, whatever. And the same thing with Chrisean Rock. But for her, she was drinking and smoking. And she would get like sad and start crying because she was drinking and drinking and smoking and drinking. And me, I would drink and get sad and whatever and get pissed off and start crying. And then I would like, what's going on? Like, why are they doing that? Da da da. And it's like, they didn't do nothing wrong. And then Chrisean Rock would have the same thing too. Like, why this? Why? Cry this, cry all that. And you already seen Blueface. He was already like over it. Didn't want that no more. But he still wanted her there because he was evil. Having her on camera, having her in certain rooms will make him money. And that's not good. But on my hand, I would get mad, like this and that and third, boom, get mad, run off, you know, yell, argue, get sad, and then I'll put myself away and so I just cry, just cry, just cry. And it's like, oh my God, what's going on? Help, help. Once I was dealing with my counselor therapist, she helped me out a lot. One of my sisters helped me out in the spiritual rim of things, and my neighbor. And then I started speaking to wise people that are like much older than me. And I would speak to them. And then I remember I went out, two people told me, whatever you're doing right now in life, it's not good. A black girl and a white girl. Well, lady, they're both ladies, and not just any girl, they're ladies. And I was like, what? I was like, huh? I was like, what? Why again? And then I remember I did a tarot card reading at this one place, and I said, everything that I'm doing right now in life is a good, and then the tarot card reader was like, no, everything you're doing right now is not good. Oh my gosh. You guys, once I seen that, I started going in on doing whatever it is right. I did a lot of apologies. I apologized. You know, they say don't apologize, just show up better than before. But for me, I feel like what I went through, people need to hear me say, I apologize for what I have done. And then I will start doing better because I had that in my mind. I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better. I'm going to show up better. But they need to hear me say I apologize for whatever I done to them. And yeah, and I started reading books. I started journaling. I started watching more podcasts than I have ever done. And next thing you know, I surrendered myself to God. God to me is anything that brings good to you. Like you win the lottery. Oh my gosh, that was God. This is God. This is God right here. Let's say you get a new car. Oh my gosh, this is God. Stuff like that. A special opportunity to like, you say you get a call to do runway. Oh my gosh. And they want you to be like the lead person. Oh my gosh, this is God. Anything. Anything is God. Oh, I got this job. Oh my gosh, finally I got a job. This is God. Any and anything is God. Oh my gosh, I got a PlayStation 5. This is God. Like, anything is God. You can walk up to a stranger and talk to them, and whatever they say to you, like, oh my gosh, this is God. Any and anything is God. Let's say you haven't been eating for weeks, and then you get to some food, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is God. God, yes. Let's say you get a new pair of Jordans. You never had Jordans, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's God. Anything is God. So I surrendered myself, and because all the stuff I went through, Chrisean Rock surrendered herself because all the stuff that she went through, and it's just similar. I was like, it's similar, and it's crazy. Chrisean Rock is a Pisces, and I'm a Pisces. It's crazy. And it's crazy because we're both March Pisces. So, yeah, That's the reason why that's why I say me and Christian Rock are similar, and I didn't fully explain it fully on episode 10. Yeah, so I'm explaining it even more so you guys can understand why me and her are similar. So, um, and then another thing too, you guys, I'm Christian and I am spiritual. I I am Christianity and I am spirituality. Spirituality and Christianity. Yes, you guys. What the reason why I am Christianity and spirituality is because I believe in certain things that's in the Bible in Christianity, and I believe in things in spirituality as well. I don't agree with everything with spirituality, and the same thing with Christianity. I don't believe in everything. Some things I feel some type of way of in Christianity, and the same thing with spirituality. Okay? Now, with spirituality, how I first started going through spirituality was me journaling, my life and where I'm at. I started journaling my life, and I start writing down like how my day went and what I like about that day and what I would take out from that day. I'll write it down every day in my journal. And I still do, still to this day. I write down everything. Like what I did that was positive, what I do that was motivating, you know. Those are the things I do. And then I go out and then I meditate anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes of my day. There's sometimes I do even longer because I feel like I need it. And that can go anywhere from 30 minutes, I kid you not, 30 minutes to an hour. I kid you not, I can do that. I don't know if all can do that, but I do that. I don't do that all the time, but I do that at times. And I take my spiritual bath. Spiritual bath is just like getting baptized, but you can't get baptized all the time. But you can take your spiritual bath here and there. You can do it from home. And I sage. That's like saging. It's like faith, like it's like praying. And I pray every single time I eat. I pray when I wake up. I pray when I go to sleep. I don't pray when I go to sleep like every night or whatever, but I do pray. But I sage at times where I need the spiritual guidance. I do that. Let's say, just like in the pandemic, all this fighting, all this commotion was going on. I was sage to kill the bad energy and let the good come in. I would do that. I would start doing that. That's what I'm telling you from my beginning. And I would do that. And I'm mixing up Christianity in mixed with spirituality, but I'm gonna keep on talking on spirituality part first, then I'm gonna get back to the Christianity. So, and then I would do that, and then I would look up like life path stuff, like my birth date, stuff like that, birth date, my birth month and day, and stuff like that, and then the year it is, and I'll take that in and move into that direction as best as I can. And then over time, I started to get into tarot cards. Now, I didn't know how to do the tarot cards. I had to do some research on the internet, and I did that, and I started using that stuff. But you guys, I don't do anything that's like voodoo. I don't do the whole the board game with the triangle. I forgot what that's called. But I don't do any of that stuff. I don't do the salt at door lines and stuff like that. I don't do any of that. I don't. I don't do that. I just take in what's the greater of the good of it all, and not no dark evil stuff. Now, if any Christians watching this that are 100% Christian and don't like what I'm saying, don't watch my videos. Don't. Just go somewhere else. Cause I don't mean no harm, but you think this is bad, like it's evil. I'm not an evil person. And you think that I am because I'm spirituality at the same time I'm Christianity, then you can go somewhere else. Okay? And I do all these things, and then I go and do yoga, and I do the whole Tai Chi stuff too as well. Just like how elders do it, I do it too. And it really helps. You got to go out there in nature and breathe. And then I do the stars, lights, and moons. I take that in. I take all of that in. I take all of that in to better who I am, as a human being. We can gravitate all of those that's within us, and gravitate the beauty of it all. And just like the galaxies, the stars, the moons, the planets. You can harvest all of that into you within the beauty, and you can start creating these things that that's best for you, and step out of the box and go outside the box and do all these beautiful things and do what you want, and being positive on whatever it is you move forward of going upon with, and things in that nature. So you can create your own path and write your own journey, in your journal, to walk in the lines of how you want it to be, and step out of what you've been taught and step into something that's more for yourself, and make you a better human being in the most positive ways of all, areas of aspects in the walk of your life that nobody has not ever have done or shown you, and just take that all in. And then another thing too, like your spiritual awakening is just like how I said, just change your scenery, change your surroundings, make new habits for yourself that is better for you. And just doing light healing work. That's just the healing within yourself. You don't want to do anything too heavy at all for yourself. You just want to just make a change for yourself, and start getting into things that you had never thought you could do. Getting into some new activities, getting into a new hobby that's like good, like, I could paint. What? I didn't know that. Oh, I can draw. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, start. Oh, I can cook. Like, what? I didn't know that. I could cook. Like, oh my gosh, like stuff like that. Oh, I could build this? Like, I didn't know I could build. I didn't know I can fix this. Oh, I didn't know I'm good at gardening or whatever it may be. Just step into those different areas within yourself in this world. You just never know. You never know what is out there that you never known that you can do, that you never knew that you can do. So here's my thing. If you guys ever want to start off doing spirituality stuff and it's your first time doing this, start off just meditating and journaling. Like a full day you doing something, maybe at the end of the day or in the middle of the day, you write what you enjoy, just write what you are enjoying out of the day, what you have accomplished and what you have done. And then the next day you do the same thing. You keep it going and going and going and going and going, and you just meditate. You can meditate 2 times a day or you can meditate 1 time a day. Sometimes I meditate 2 times a day, but I've been meditating once a day. But you guys go ahead, do that. That right there is a good start right there. Is journaling and meditating, I would say, and just go outside and breathe the good nature that we all breathe and live in. That is good right there. Now, the reason why I am Christian as well is because I do believe in a God, and I feel like for me, we are all gods individually. God, I said this already. God could be anything, anything. An opportunity happens for you. That's God. You get your favorite shoes. That's God. Let's say you haven't seen your mom or your dad in a very long time. It's been about like 10 years, 8 years, maybe 15 years, and now you finally get to see them. That's God. I believe in God and goddesses. He's a god, she's a goddess, like that. And then the spiritual feel, for some people, this is a choice right here. For some people, the spiritual feel is the God, okay, or the one above, or there's many names for it, but up there can be whatever. But individually, in good experiences and good opportunities and things that comes to you, that is good and positive is God. Like I call that God. And whatever you do as an individual, whatever your sex sign is, that's either a god or a goddess is. I mean, a god or a goddess, And I believe in that. And I do believe in praying, I do believe in what it says in the Bible. In the Bible, I don't believe in everything because it's like you can't see that today, or it's kind of obvious like that's impossible for that to really happen. But then there is another side where it's like I do believe in this, and I do believe in these stories, and I do see this and things in that nature. In the Bible, it's really like stories on like how to go upon in life and how to take in actions and things in that nature. It's just, for me, I believe it's stories that's been made up, but some people do believe in their real life stories. But I feel like it's stories that's been made up to help you to go upon within your life of Christ. That's where I take it. But yeah, you guys, that's me being a spiritual person and a spirituality person. That's what I do. That's what I take in life. Oh, and another thing too with spirituality, look, spirituality and Christianity. I listen to gospel music. I do. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like other music too. I do like pop culture music, which you see listening to Drake, Kendrick Lamar, I like Chris Brown. I like listening to music, you guys. I like listening to today's music. I do, and I like listening to gospel music. And I do listen to nature musics of sounds, nature, people playing on drums, instruments, flutes, and all of that. Just listening to wave sounds. I like listening to like the forest sounds of animals and insects. Insects are animals too, but I like listening to like hearing crickets. I like listening to hearing flies and dragonflies fly around. I like to hear deers and lions and tigers and bears. Water in the river, ocean, lake sounds, frogs sounds. I like hearing all of that bird sounds. I like to listen to those things and hear cave sounds, like firewood, nighttime sounds. I like to hear those things. Melodic nature sounds. I do. I like listening to those things. So I'm an all around person when it comes to music. I just know right from wrong from when I hear music. I'm not gonna do everything. I don't do what they say in songs or majority of songs because it's not right to do. But do I like the songs? I do. I'm human, and that's okay. That is okay for me. Now, a lot of songs that talk about bad stuff, is that like on my playlist? Majority of times it's not, even though I do like the song, but it's not on my playlist at all. It's not whatsoever. That's where I'm at today, and this is who I am as a human being. Yes, this is where Hana is at. Yes, 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 yes. This is where I am at. And this is for the better. And I've been in this new chapter, but this new chapter, there's more, like, it's still being written out until the end. There's more to this chapter that I don't even know that's going to come. I don't know, but this chapter has not ended yet to get into another chapter. That's it right here for this episode right here. This is Pure Genuine Podcast, where we dive into authentic experiences like never before. And you guys, I'll get back to you guys in the next episode. Bye.